Welcome everybody to the new episode 8.
Family
and reality. A very warm welcome to everybody. Today is the 20th May 2022. It is a Friday. At the moment it's about 2:30 p.m. sharp. Michael and I will actually say that, let's do half an hour earlier so we can make sure this whole setting up is ready before we get a podcasting rolling, and we are on time actually, so it's good. Welcome everybody to the new episode 8. What's your word? I don't have a word yet. Do you have a word?
Not really, but I kind of know what I want to talk about, because as I was reflecting for the last 2 weeks, a very big theme came up, which is family. Not only our own family, but also as I visited friends and all that. And I think the theme about family came out pretty strong.
Cool. Yeah. Maybe Michael will talk about family. That might be his word for this week. And my word, I don't know yet, because there's still a lot of things going on in my head at the moment. So I'm taking a deep breath and we shall go. Okay. And look at Michael. He has a new hairstyle. Your new haircut. Oh, look at that. And you did your hair.
I just got my haircut last night. Visited our usual hairstylist.
Right.
Yeah, took a chance to visit mom as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess I have a wedding tomorrow to attend. So it's
really?
Yeah.
Looking sharp, huh? So at least the hair is done. All right, Michael. So let's start with you first. So how's your week going? How are your last 2 weeks?
The last episode, we were talking about Singapore opening up, loosening the measures for its borders. So a lot of people, they went traveling, and whatnot is that a lot of people start to take a chance to gather together to meet up and also catch up.
Very
so last
cozy.
2 weeks were in fact was like extension again, because last weekend it was Hari Raya, so it was a public holiday, so the entire weekend was kind of extended. Like the past Monday was actually in fact a holiday, so a lot of people took a chance to gather the family, the friends, and catch up once more. So same here, I took the chance to visit some of my friends around, just really to catch up and spend some quality time with family. We in fact went out to play badminton, trying to set up the schedule every 2 weeks once, to play with the family. So the next time we're going to play is in fact next week. I was also saying that I met up with quite a lot of my friends and spent some time with mom as well. We went for the hike last Thursday, in fact, the southern regions. We had been there a couple of weeks ago when you were still in Singapore. Yeah, so this time around we just really hike all the way and all the way to National University of Singapore and off somewhere in Clementi side. Just a little bit further, maybe like 5 to 7 kms further from the last time where we ended. Good catch-up session with mom. A lot of times we're always so busy with our stuff, and she's always busy with her yoga and her activities. We somehow managed to squeeze time out, make time in fact for each other. And we just went for the hike.
That's nice. I saw some of the pictures. It looks fantastic. The weather must be really great on the day, isn't it?
It was raining early in the morning, then it was hot after that in the afternoon. It was a good session with mom, really.
Cool.
Some time off and caught up with her a lot of times, because you're walking. In total, we walked around like 5 hours. Of course, with breaks in between, some food and drinks, talking about some of the current affairs that's going on, some of the issues that she's facing, some of the issues I'm facing, and giving some constructive feedback as much as possible.
Right.
So to me, that's something I look forward to. As much as possible, I will try to make time for that. Other than that, I caught up with quite a lot of friends who have babies now, so they are like 6 months old. Some of them have kids who are like a year or 3 years old. So anyway, to sum it up, I caught up with a lot of them, and the topics start to become parenting. As you move on in life, as you go through the parenting,
which brand of this baby product you should buy, what baby powder, and then when was the last time you sleep properly?
From a mom's perspective, especially the first year or so when you're doing breastfeeding and all that, it takes a lot of energy. The main thing is, like, a lot of them are saying they don't really have personal time anymore. Like they gotta wake up every like 3-4 hours just to provide for the baby, make sure that the baby is fine. Sleep essentially is almost non-existent. Like, it's not a continuous thing like how you usually have it and when you don't have a family, right? That's why I say, for the last 2 weeks, as I was catching up with friends and family, a main big part of things just revolve around family. So many different things about having family or being in the family. So I think the word should be family for now, but maybe that's at the very end of this episode.
Whether you change that,
we discuss whether I'm going to change or dive in further to see what comes out of that family. So 2 weeks, that was me in Singapore. How about you? You're still in Bali, right? So how was it the last 2 weeks?
Well, the last 2 weeks I've been following my routine strictly, so still the same. I wake up, I go to CrossFit every single morning at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Do you feel stronger now?
I'm actually stronger, I feel. I can feel my body.
I can see
the muscle, right? Yeah, look.
My goodness.
Look, even though my right arm still hurts a lot, but it's getting better. But just I do it and I always ask for alternative, for some of the exercise I can't do. All those pull out or push out I really can't do. So I'll do like V up or lying on the ground and do a strip with dumbbell push up. But of course, my right arm will usually have lesser weight because once it start getting numb, I just couldn't do it. It will hurt a lot. I know that I should be resting, but then whenever I rest, then I'll kind of feel lethargic. Like I feel like my brain, my mindset is not right to continue the day. So anyway, so I still go every single day ever since I got here from 7 to 8 a.m. There's a couple of times I did 5 p.m. session, but it was good anyway. It depends on the schedule. So anyway, so I've been doing that, which is great. I met a lot of really cool people. Like some of them I vibe with, which I appreciate there. And a couple of them I always kind of like go for lunch or usually dinner with them or ice cream just to get to know each other and their stories and stuff like that. So everyone have their own different stories, why they're here in Bali and what they're doing with their life and what are the things they're building, the dreams they're chasing and stuff like that. I don't know, just describing this feeling to this mate of mine from England, Tom. I had dinner with him yesterday in Batu Bolong beach because he recently moved from Barcelona to Bali and he decided to stay in Bali for the next 2 years, so he can't apply for the KITAS, this investor's visa. So I was talking to him, exchanging like how I should get it, blah blah blah, what are the options, also comparing the prices and also liabilities and stuff like that. So just to have an idea, I was describing to him that I feel very free to be in Bali. There are certain exact moment I told him, like for instance, when I'm riding on a motorbike and when the breeze just goes through my face, I just feel very free, and looking at the rice field is just very calming. Because last week I went to Nusa Lembongan, closest island to Bali mainland. So they have 3 islands next to Bali, Nusa Lembongan and Nusa Ceningan, I don't know how to pronounce, and the other one is Nusa Pendia. So the 2 islands, Nusa Lembongan and Nusa Ceningan, they are kind of connected through a yellow bridge. So I also rented a bike there just to go around. It was quite a small island.
Bridge. What do you mean by yellow bridge?
They're connected. These 2 islands
literally is yellow.
Yeah, yellow in color. The water there is so turquoise, so beautiful. And I did go surfing there twice. I was just like amazing. And the waves here in Indonesia, they're so long. They're just longer compared to those that I've surfed in Portugal before. So the waters are very blue in Nusa Lembongan. They usually have to take a boat. You have to take a boat first and they kind of taxi you out to outside. And then there's where the waves are, and the waves are longer. So which means that the feeling I have compared to Portugal is different, because when the waves come, like the white wash and the green wash, so the instructor will be at the green wash to try to push me at the sides, right? So I'll be at the white wash to ride the wave. So I need to always feel the water a bit longer first through my body, and then I stabilize that and I stand up. So that's the thing. Because in Portugal, I always remember that, once the water comes, you gotta keep paddling, just keep paddling. When you think it's enough, then you say, no, keep paddling. To the point that you feel like your boards are straight or stabilized and you stand up quickly. So the moment in Portugal, I remember very vividly, they say that once you feel that, just stand up quickly. But in Bali, I have tried that tactic. It just doesn't work. So the first few times I managed to stand up, and then afterwards I couldn't. And I tried this method again. So just take a bit longer time and to feel the water, and then I stand up. And that was really exhilarating. That feeling was amazing. And that was another moment I was telling to Tom that, I really felt so good when I was on the board and the water was so blue. Another moment I really like about Bali is, the constant international people that I've met here so far. Like a lot of them are very driven and motivated to build their dream. So it's always nice to have that kind of conversation with them. And also with the instructor, surf instructor called Dollar. I had an interview with him, which I will put it on my channel, just Henri, about where he's from, where he was born, and how it is that he ended up as a surf instructor, how he looked at life itself. He's a very resilient kind of person. Like there's so many times that the natural forces kind of destroy his diving school, I think 2 times or 3 times, and he started everything from scratch again. Obviously the insurance company will not pay for it because natural forces, right? So he just concentrate on his surfing school right now. But every time I ask him about some personal aspiration or dreams, he will always come back to the community part, like he always put others before himself. When I had that conversation with him, I just thought, oh my god, this guy is just so selfless, like he really thinks for others first. I kind of reflected on myself. A lot of time you're thinking for yourself first, you see. When I thought about that, I just thought, wow, what he's saying just so amazing, because I have not encountered someone who's so selfless for a very, very long time. And the question I keep asking about, okay, thank you for the community and collective part, but how about you? Like, what's your aspiration? What's your dream? What do you want to achieve? And then he said, as I mentioned, I would like my community to be well. So I was like grilling and drilling him for a while, but then I said, okay, that's probably just the way he is. But I did enjoy that conversation with him. So I'm going to make that into a story and publish it on my channel. So if you're interested, you can go and check it out. I don't know, I just feel like the quality of life here in Bali is pretty good. I mean, most of the infrastructures are there, but it's not comparable compared to big cities like Singapore, London or Berlin, It's just a lot of time when you ride the motorbike or even a car on the streets, you'll see that the drainage system is just not very well done, or you have brown water everywhere here and there. So it's not as clean. But then it's so easy to go to the beach and then you can have a sunset walk or the sunrise walk, or do yoga among the rice fields. So you get a best of both worlds, I suppose. You work and at the same time you do certain exercise, sports, CrossFit or yoga, or just simply go to the beach, So I was sharing this with Tom last night when we were having dinner, and he was asking me, so when are you coming back? I said, let me go to Singapore first and see how that works. But if it doesn't work, then definitely I will start applying for the visa and come back again, you see. I don't know, I mean, I still don't really feel home, ever since I gave out like my apartment in Berlin, I don't really feel I'm anywhere. I mean, to some extent it's good that, I have the flexibility of traveling and working, but then I don't have a place that I can go back, I mean, now, yes, I do. I rent an Airbnb for a month here in Bali. But at the same time, part of me kind of feel exhausted. I would like to have my space, my things, and things like that. I don't know how that's going to work out. So that also put me into a thought mood in the last few days. How am I going to establish that, especially when I want to spend 6 months in Europe and 6 months in Asia. So at the moment, I don't have a very precise answer, but at least I know I tested it out in Singapore and also in Bali that it is workable. So that's been happening for me the last 2 weeks. This journey is coming to an end because I'm heading back to Singapore on Tuesday next week, 4 days time.
It seems to me like you have been thinking about this where as you left Berlin and then you came back to Asia, and then you're still looking for a place that will kind of bring you comfort, which whatever parameters that you have defined for yourself.
Yeah.
So if that say, like compare right now with 10, 20 years back when you first decide to leave Asia to go to Europe.
10 odd years before when I left for Europe, it was a different motivation because I want to grow myself as a person. I want to see the world. I want to further my studies. I want to do internship. I want to get a career. And all those being said, I have done that already, I have different set of motivation and goals now, you see. As I said, I'm very careful how I spend my time. So that's why I say 6 months in Europe and 6 months in Asia. In Asia is because I would like to be closest to you and mom. And 6 months in Europe is because that's my life, right? And also my friends are kind of there, and that's something that I do not want to give it up, you see. So that's why I say 6 months here, 6 months there. How am I going to really work out? I don't know. I do have different goals and motivation now, which I'm working on it. I think we have talked about this in a few episodes before, you know. I constantly look at the subscribers numbers or the views and stuff like that. I just feel exhausted and very burnt out. Like for instance, this last video that I'm still working on right now, hopefully you'll be done today. It has been working on for a whole week. So whenever I don't manage to come out with those videos that I would like to upload per week, then I kind of feel a bit anxious because I'm not meeting my consistency.
You know, like when you're saying all this, I believe you, over the last 2 weeks, since our last catch up, you have met a lot of people, and those that you vibe with, I suppose you did share bits and pieces of your thoughts about this. And were there any good suggestions?
I only met one guy who was here for a month and a half. 2 weeks ago, I think he went back to Spain. He's an English teacher. He does this with his brother. They have their own YouTube channel on different social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, podcast, website, digital courses. They have everything set up, and then they offer English language to Spanish speaking community like in Spain and also in the whole South America, those Spanish speaking one. They've been doing this for 4 years, as in the YouTube journey, like all the digital part, 4 years, and they are doing really, really successful. The only thing he told me is that whatever you do, consistency is the key. So I went on to all his different digital platforms. He uploaded that every single day. And that for me is very hard to catch up at the moment, like to be in that standard, because the most for my German with Henry, there's a once a week video. And even for the Instagram or this daily one, I just didn't manage. Like there's so many things has to go behind the whole production, you know, script writing, filming, SEO search, uploading them online, and then have the certain graphics there, hashtag, commenting, distribution. Yeah, just a lot of work, and I can really only focus a couple of them at the moment, but I can't do more. I would like to do more, but I don't have the resources for it. Yeah, I just do what I can, you know.
I believe that the English guy is saying doing Spanish, right? Yeah.
The Spanish guy doing English.
They probably also took a while. Oh, Spanish guy doing English, yeah. So I think they also took a while to fine tune all these little things. So you got to be patient about it, I suppose.
Yes, I do have to be patient, but at the same time, you see, like, if you want to do this is taking a lot of my time, you know. Even though I'm doing half my time, I'm actually doing the report writing just to pay the bills and stuff like that. So those have to be a priority because it pays the bill, right? But on the other hand, if I want this to grow, I need to put in even more effort in the sense of like production. I want to see the output. That's the effort I'm talking about, because I believe that I'm putting already effort, but just the production side is not as what I expect or what I would like to have. That kind of saddened me a little. And then as we talk about resources, why it has to be sustainable. So at some point, if my financial resources runs out or run to the point that it's not sustainable anymore, then I have to put this side kick or this project at the side and go back to the corporate world to just earn a living first and save up a bit more to kind of fuel this part of my dream, right? Yeah, so that's where I am exactly. I mean, I know how I should push forward to do it, but I just feel like my time is very limited, you know. The things I would like to do, but then I need to really prioritize what is more important. And then with all this YouTube, I feel I'm being sucked into all this wheel at the moment. But that's the question, is like, I ask myself, do I want to go back to the corporate world? The answer is no. But then, I don't have other passive income at the moment that allow me not to go back. Like, I'm doing my very best to chase my dream, but at the same time, I just feel I'm drowning.
But I suppose, like, a lot of time, as you think more about this, I think even back when you were working in the corporate side of things, there were also instances where you feel like you're drowning in your work. You're like on a wheel, like a hamster running on the wheel. Vastly similar, but of course the context is different. So back then, what's the coping mechanism you have? Nothing much, just really do it.
Just keep doing till I got burnout. Full stop.
If applying to similar things, you know, to this current situation, do you think that, you know, yes, you also burn out as well? At
some point, yeah. I really feel very exhausted. But the only difference is that I'm doing something that I have the ownership for it. Makes me really proud. Yeah. Because whatever ambitions I see the products out. I see in my head the ideas and how it become reality is there. But it's just that I can see my creativity coming through in real life, you see. Our world is changing so quickly. So if we're not putting ourselves out there to relearn new stuff, we are going to get outdated very quickly.
But ultimately, I feel that if you have already identified what you do not want to be in, which is the corporate side of things, and you are putting in effort and time and energy into what you're doing now, you can continue to do it.
I can see that I need to go back to corporate at some point, for sure, because I need to survive. I can set up my passive income more and more, for sure, but it's not going to come out so quickly, because just looking at my subscribers and then the number of views, I'm not there compared to other creators. I know I shouldn't compare to them, but it's just, they have made it right. I still hold on to the hope that at some point it will work out. And what is really struggling within me is that sometimes people say, you just have to go all the way in, and until you got nothing else to lose. I can listen to that story for sure, but to some extent I can't, because I need to be responsible for myself, right? I mean, I can't just go all the way in and have nothing else to lose. And no one's going to solve this challenge. It's just that I need to make some time per day to really look more into the corporate thing, to send out my resume and make sure I get some reply. And my heart is screaming no. But what can I do? Okay, let's come to a conclusion. So what's your word for today?
I would still think it's family. It's really spending time with your immediate family, and then realizing that friends around you, they are also experiencing their own time with their family and trying to figure it out as they set up their family. How are they going to optimize some of the resources that they have as well? Like, sacrifice some part of sleeping time, taking care of kids and all that.
Oh, sounds good. I mean, I went through that a few years ago. A lot of my friends started to get married and have kids. Unless you're on the same path as them, then you'll be able to still have the contact. Otherwise, at some point, you can't really go separate way, and that's just part of how life is, I suppose. Especially when we're talking about, heterosexual life, which is very relevant. It's just the natural way that you proceed in life. But for those married but don't have kids, you also slowly see that your friends who are married with kids, they have less time for you, see? And that's just how it is, because everyone has different priorities in life. But I do think that what's important still at the end of the day is that relationship you have with yourself, because no matter what happens, that will always be the best relationship you have, and that you need to take care of a lot.
Okay.
I think I have the word for it for myself this week. It's called reality, internal reflection. Like, what's the next step for me? You see, it's a tug-of-war between chasing your dream and also the reality parts. How do you balance that both?
We kind of spoke over the various episodes, and especially this one, about the struggles that you are facing. And right now, you have reached a conclusion. This is the reality. But in fact, if you take a step back, actually, that's what all adults are facing, right? Be whether you are having a family or you're not, you're alone. It's always about how to survive, move along towards a goal.
How to solve the problem.
Yeah, and this is the very real thing. It's like what adulthood is like. Such is life. I mean, as we face it, it's tough. When things get tough and you pull through, and at the end, you'll be like, oh, okay. So this is what the experience of being an adult is like. All right, guys. So this is the 8th episode, and the 2 words is family and reality.
Thank you very much for listening. Perhaps you have similar situations, similar experience. Why not, leave us some comments or send us some questions. So whatever you are, I hope that you guys have a great Friday, and looking forward to the weekend. Be kind to yourself, take care of each other, and don't forget to smile. We shall see you in the very next episode. Henri and Mike sign off. Ciao, ciao. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.